Hi folks, welcome to the new season and we're in the GR86 at Zolder, so let's crack on with it. Right then, fast lap done and dusted, so let me show you the info tab. Now, I didn't record this live, so the setup says question mark, but I did use the Zolder setup. So the Zolder, the fixed setup, which the fixed series will be following. So that's the one there. Yeah, this doesn't have a Zolder setup. It only has a fixed setup. So that's the one I was using. Track temperature 77 Fahrenheit and a moderate usage of 44%. That may change because obviously this is pre-recorded, so it's a bit awkward to tell what my track usage will be like. But otherwise, going to the lap, now we are going to show you my fastest lap, which is a lap 10 of a 1:45.473. Now, very awkward to get into the 45s to begin with. Did a fluke here, and that had an off track, which this track is, for all you guys watching this bit, bear with me because I am going to show you a few little tips, because there is an enormous amount of time to gain by taking off tracks, and you can take them strategically because we're allowed to take off tracks. We're allowed to take 17 in a race, so you may as well take them strategically. So I'll go through this, then in a minute I'll show you where to do them. But in a nutshell, 1:45.7 with off tracks, 1:45.3 clean, and then 45s, like mid to high 45s coming towards the end of the lap, where I was really sort of fine tuning where I can and can't get off tracks. But yeah, so we're showing you lap 10, 1:45.473. What else do I show you? Oh yes, we show you my sector times, which is just here for you. See, I've got a 45.1 in me somewhere. That's a clean lap as well. But then this circuit sort of like, if you get the off track, you get the run down the next straight, which then obviously compromises your lap time, but then might benefit the next sector. So I'm not sure I can get into the low 45s, to be honest. Mid to high 45s is definitely where I'm sitting. My Discord will be above my head, where the OLAP, BLAP, telemetry, and replay file will all be hidden in there for you, so you can actually go have a nosy and see how I exactly did what I did. And I will cut to post-recording me. So as mentioned, these little tips here. It's coming into the chicane after the second chicane in the circuit, or triple chicane as I call it. You can cut this corner as normal, but this one, if you get it like that, you will get an off track. But you can take full throttle way earlier and actually take this corner flat out, which is the main key. That'll actually probably gain you like two, maybe 2.5 tenths down here. And because you're carrying that more speed through it, all the way down here, you're still gaining time. So if you need to do an overtake into the hairpin, cut the corner, get the off track, because through that hairpin's absolutely insane. The second place you can gain time is obviously the last chicane. So what we're doing, I'm going to slow it up here a little bit, brake as you normally would, but compromise this one more. You see I turn in way earlier, get the off track early, and then I'm on full throttle for this one and take the off track there as well. So again, a couple of tenths there, but it enables you to make the overtake because they both lead on to really long full throttle zones. So this is the key where if you do need to overtake or perhaps run away from someone, use that strategically to gain yourself lap time and hopefully defend or attack. Right then, Zolder, this tricky little rascal begins with a quite fast turn one, to be honest, but we're looking for the Coca-Cola sign here on the right hand side, and just before the last one, so the second Coca-Cola, we want to brake nice and heavy and then let the car coast into the corner. You want to cut this a little bit, get on that inner concrete bit on that apex, and then get on full power as early as you can. You can run wide on that curbing there on the right hand side, but not too worried if you don't need to. Over to the left-hand side now, we're using the start of the gravel trap there on the left-hand side as a braking point. Again, dabber brakes down into third gear, coast it into the corner, and then when you're going to hit the apex, feeding that power quite nicely. You can see there I have lifting here because I am running wide, and I don't really want to hit them sausage curbs. They are quite angry, but this car was okay with it. So you can run wide, but try not to is ideal for other series. Right now, we're coming to the left-hand side here, and on the end of this first sort of service road, dabber the brakes, keep it in fourth gear, again, coast the car in, and we're aiming for those sausage curbs in there, but we don't want to hit them. As soon as we get to them and we know we're going to hit them, full throttle, and remember, do not run wide here. Very easy to get an off track, very easy to spin, and the curb on the exit is not that wide, so be cautious. Good overtaking opportunity into here if you're very, very brave, but otherwise, ease out of this one. It's a very tight chicane and very, very fast. So before the red and white wall on the right-hand side, brake nice and heavy, second gear for this one, turn it in, and the important thing is to get a line that's straight across here. So as I hit the curb, I'm straightening the car up to basically hit the second one and run over it. There is no off-track. Well, there is an off-track and a slowdown on the second one if you do cut it too much, but you don't want to hit the first one and still turn. So bear that one in mind. Coming around here, absolutely flat out, keep to the inside, and then brake heavily at the shadow of the tree. If the tree's not there, way before the curbing here on the left hand side. Brake nice and easy, avoid the sausage curbs all the way through here. They give you an off track, but what we want to do is compromise this one as best we can and get on full throttle as early, because we need to take this corner flat out, and this car can do it if you get the line right, but it is very, very easy to run wide and get a spin. We want to be full throttle because then we're full throttle all the way down to the hairpin, which is the best opportunity for another overtake. So flat out through this one, nice and easy on the steering, trying not to scrub off too much speed. Keep the car to the left hand side over this little crest. It can be awkward trying to spot that, but all we're doing now is spotting for the wall awkwardly on the right hand side. As that disappears from our center monitor, brake nice and heavy into first gear, gives us a good rotation. Now watch the car, there is a little bit of a bump here, just there. Really does unsettle the car, so you can avoid that by taking a sort of a wider apex. I would definitely do that to make sure you get good smooth traction out of there, to be brutally honest. To try and avoid that bump, really, really horrible. One of the most important corners on the circuit to get right is the final chicane. So we're using the bridge as the marker. Brake nice and heavy. Now I go down to first for this one to basically get the rotation. So cut back on this one as best you can to try and get a later apex, and then full throttle, short shift into second through here. Do not cut the second one, there is an off track, and remember, do not run wide here because it's so easy to get an off track and ruin your qualifying lap, and obviously spin out and hit that wall on the right hand side. Ask me how I know. But yeah, quite an awkward technical track with a lot of off tracks that can ruin your lap, but otherwise that is us done and dusted. A 1:45.473 was the lap time I did, and I think I should, mid 45s where I'm at. If I can get into low 45s, that's going to be a golden ticket for me, really. But otherwise, make sure you survive this circuit because it will come out and bite you if you do go wide and spin. Be careful for spinners in the first chicane, second chicane, last chicane, and pretty much everywhere, and particularly last corner as well. Coming out of there will be people hitting that wall on the inside. The pit exit is before the last chicane if you do need it, so before the braking zone for the last chicane, go straight on for the pit exit. A lot of people don't know where it is, so it is straight on, and it is quite a tight pit entry, so make sure you're a little bit cautious in there. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to that lovely YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.